what's Joe to my review for this week's episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Golden Wind, and yo, bruh. This episode was fucking fire, like, especially like the last, 5-10 minutes, though that was absolutely hilarious, man, like, bro, the ice guy was some great shit. Anyway, enough jibber jabber from me, let's just jump right in. So he starts looking out with Hyacho, which I actually think, after looking at this, I think he's the guy that actually gets on the receiving end of the 7-page Muda, because his hair is similar to the other guy. So maybe he's on the 7-page Muda, not the other guy, I'm not sure. But anyway, otherwise, I'm happy to see 7-page Muda when we get there. Anyway, so he's like, yeah, that's right, I'll be able to reconvene with Malone in an hour. I like that name, by the way, Malone. I like the way he says it, Malone. Come on, say it, Malone. You know? He's like, Hyacho. And then we got Risotto being like, Hyacho, I'm leaving this job between you and Malone. I'll stay here and gather and check for clues on my end. Got it, Risotto. So he hangs up. That dude goes, oh wait, then we find more about him. We have this guy on the computer who's shaking while he's doing around. They're trying to get something out of his phone. He's like, come on, you should have been able to get it by now. He's like, oh, but still, anyone that defects against the boss. And then there's like three nails in his left hand. He's like, you only need your left hand and you only need your right hand and your right eye to do the job. Next is your left eye. It's like, I know. And then he starts pulling Hogan's eyes like, and then you see some blood on his cheek. And then we get back to Giorno and the guys. Which, while this is going on, you got Giorno's theme just playing around, which I gotta say, yo. First up, I gotta say, yo guys, breaking news, I'm about to drop right now. All of the JoJo OSTs are now up on Spotify worldwide. So yeah, if you guys want to blast some Stardust Crusader, some Diamonds, or some Golden Wind, all of the OSTs are up on Spotify. I found out from the Twitter account, Annie Playlist. Highly recommend you guys follow these guys. If you guys want to listen, if you want your anime music on Spotify, follow these guys. These guys will these guys will hook you up. You know, whenever an anime gets its OPs or EDs or any of that shit up on Spotify, there you go. They even have a little database, kind of like a version of their version of Google, where you search up anime, see what songs they got up on Spotify. Good shit. Check it out, guys. So yeah. So and a little bit before we start, I was listening to Giorno's theme. Bruh, that shit is fucking fire, dog. Right. I've always just liked the piano part with a bum bum ba dun 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 dun. You know that only, but when you listen to the rest of when the saxophone and just the opening 3 minutes in general with the yo, it's fucking fire, man. You can't help but dance to that shit, man. So anyway, you got Giorno's theme in the background. The piranha gets out of his body, turns back into Golden Wind's hand. There's this guy sitting there. And then you got Malone be like, speak to me, baby hat. Next thing we find out, the dude's step or his face got covered in turtle shit. Yes, you heard me right, turtle shit. That turtle that they're carrying had to take a dump. So, Demels, fam, Demels. So anyway, after that, we get to after that. Oh, that was funny. He also needs to replace like, oh, how dare you? I don't deserve this humiliation and shit. And he gets up and tries to attack Giorno a third time. And then you got Giorno's like, you've attacked me for a third time. It's useless. I see right through you. And then we see him his arm starts to stretch out a little bit more, starts to grow, and then he slashes Giorno right in the middle. Slashes Giorno right across the shoulder. And then we go back to Bologna. And we see Baby Hat's stats are going up his height, his chest, and all that shit. He's starting to get taller and get bigger. And so he gets bigger, and he's like, oh shit. So Giorno calls back for Golden Wind's hand. Punches him right in the face, but he's like, haha, you missed. And then he moves his face around, he's holding his hand instead. And he's like, you should check your aim more. And he's like, you fool, it's you. And then he goes for a punch, he's like, this is useless. And then we see his hand, but it starts to go down. He's like, what the? And he's like, you didn't and then you got the boom, boom, ba-dun, dun, 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 dun. Like, this theme should be like, this theme works like The Rock. Like, whenever The Rock speaks where he's like, where he interrupts someone and be like, it doesn't matter what your name is, or like, whoa, like, whenever The Rock interrupts someone, he cuts a promo. It's the theme has that same feel where everything stops and you just listen, you know? You doesn't matter what you're doing, you stop when that piano starts playing, you know? It just has that same feel to it, at least to me. So anyway, he tells us, did you really think Golden Ring was cool, especially with his own hand? And then we see his hand is still there, and the hand he did turn, and the hand he did get back, was next to the bike. And so then Babyhead starts to turn into the bike, or like parts of the bike start to like come out of it. And he's like, oh please, I can get out of this. No, he's like, you forgot one thing. Bikes run on gasoline. And then we see some gasoline leak from like the openings when he starts to like cue himself off. And then he's like, it doesn't take much to light you on fire. A couple sparks later, bam, the man is lit on fire, and he's burning it down. So he's like, I'm burning, and so much. And then you have a load like, speak to me, Babyhead. I've lost contact with him. No, I refuse to believe this. And then we see Bucciarati and Trish kind of come out of like a chair and a table, and they're back to normal. So then they speed off. So then we see Hyajo enter coming to where they were supposed, where Maloney knows what he's like. Alright, Maloney should be around here somewhere. Finds his bike, that's his bike. And there's a bunch of people around here be like, oh, my car was stolen, and all that shit. Think outside the box, and duty no on stone unturned, they say. Well, I know when I get leave no stone unturned. I mean, who hasn't turned over rocks to find stuff? And he like legit smashes the key, the dashboard with like his foot, I think, or punches it. He's like, but what the hell does thinking outside the box mean? I would if I think better inside it. So you're saying my brain is inside a box? Katsu! And, you know, he keeps like kicking the dashboard. He says, you think I'm an idiot, Katsu? You know, it's crazy, man. It was fucking, it was like, yo, Hyajo is probably my favorite character out of this whole Hitman team. I'm not even lying when I said, man, like, this guy is funny. First off, I love his dub voice. I don't know who voices him. I'm gonna have to check the credits again. And I'll follow his VN on Twitter. I love his voice. Two, it was so funny and entertaining when he goes on these rants. He goes on another one around the second half of the episode that had me dying, man. That I feel like was partially also Araki shooting, you know. So partially Araki also ranting a little bit too. But yeah. So he goes. So we get over there. He talks to Maloney for a bit. He tells him like, yo, you know, they got away, this, that, and the third. And he's like, don't worry, man. I still got his lifeblood. We good. And so they're at the train station. And while they're at the train station, he gets out of there, and you know, he's kind of looking around to see who's gonna be there. He finds this one lady with a nice ass, a mother. So he goes over. He licks this little. I found her. So he goes over there. Then a snake falls down. And he's like, what the hell? He's like, snake. Then a snake legit falls onto his back, and he's like, what the hell is that? And he's like, wait. And it starts to burn. He's like, wait. Is this little baby's? Is this baby's like corpse? Is he supposed? Then it like stings him on his tongue. It like bites him on his tongue, and the guy pretty much dies instantly. He also lets go of the bottle, so Bruno's lifeblood is gone. So they're out. And so then afterwards, Giorno kind of like senses like the venomous snake has returned to its original form. It's like, all right, now let's speed over to Venezia. That's what needs to check. So we speed off. We get one more shot with Maloney. Maloney. Not Maloney. With Hyajo telling Insato that, you know, they got him too, and that he already got the information for whatever they were doing, and he's sending it over. He's like, oh, okay. And so we head back with Bucciarati and the rest of the guys. Bucciarati gets another message from the boss. How, I don't know, because it doesn't look there's any internet access in that turtle. I don't know, maybe they got some secret server that they commute to. I don't know, it was the 90s, man. So he says he got a new message from the boss, and that he also calls for Abakio. Abakio comes in there, he's like, yo, what's up? He tells him to read this and tells him to use Smoothie Jazz and rewind back about 14 hours. So he says, okay, let's go back 15 hours. So then he goes all the way, so then he rewinds all the way back to 15 or 14, plays it, And it returns, and it goes into the form of Mr. Pericolo. I love that name, by the way, Mr. Pericolo. I love that name. Pericolo. Say it. Pericolo. 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 You sound Italian, just say it. Mr. Pericolo. I love it. Anyway, so then Mr. Pericolo tells him the final mission, which is on how to deliver Trish. He shows this picture of the sculpture with a lion on it, and tells him to go over there and find a disc. He then burns it, and Bruno tells, or Butarati tells Abacchio to pause it real quick so he can get a look at it, finds where it is, and he goes to replace it, and he keeps playing it, excuse me. The thing continues to burn, and afterwards, and then he says, no one else can know about this, I'm left. He then, legit pulls out a revolver and pretty much says, I have lived a long and a good life, thanks to the boss's orders. And legit shoots himself. He legit kills himself. And everyone's like, holy shit! Lorenzo even legit says, oh my god, or holy shit, like I thought the man went into his inner Joey Styles there for a second, So then, everyone's shocked that Mr. Pericolo killed himself. He goes out there, and yeah, man, we then actually see the boss for the first time. Of course, they're just completely covered in a cloak, so you can't see shit, obviously. I mean, come on, we're not gonna Araki ain't gonna show off the boss this early. We're probably gonna see something about the boss around probably the midpoint of this series once the Hitman team is done. Or when they finally deliver truth. That's probably that's probably when we're gonna actually see the boss. So anyway, he goes over there. So he's like, meet us there, and then so I can find and deliver me my daughter, please. Give me back my daughter. See him sitting down, all that shit. And they speed off over to Venezia. So then we get to Venezia, and we got Giorno and Misa in the car. Fugo is nowhere to be seen. And so while they're driving around, they're just like, oh, and Misa's kind of wiping away at the windows. They're like, damn, why are they so far? And next thing we know, he's like, oh, let me open them. And then Giorno's like, oh, let me, or before that actually, the wheels start to move. He starts to lose some, or start to skate a little bit on the road, and Giorno's like, whoa, gets back control. He's like, hey man, and Misa just face plants right into the window, the side of his face kind of just stuck to it. He's like, who the hell told you how to drive, man? He's like, wait, do you even have a license? He's like, I'm 15, so no. Found that kind of humorous, kind of funny. And he says, let me open the windows, to get the condensation out of there, because that's what it's like. And so he gets in there, and once he opens up, this huge wind, this little cold wind comes in there, and the photo of the photo from that Mr. Pericolo showed them is right there, by Jorah's face. He's like, oh shit. And then you got And then you got Hiajo be like, you really say after examining his ashes, it was surprisingly easy to find the picture. Did you really think you could stop the Hitman team? And he's punch at the window, and Jorah's telling me, he's like, yo, start firing. He's like, dude, and then he's face is stuck to the window because it actually started to get cold. And a little bit before that, he knows his finger got completely ripped clean off his pinky, and you can see there's just this hole where his pinky should be, and then he starts to bleed a little bit. He's like, all right, finally, I'm bleeding. And so he goes over there, fires off Sex Pistols. Sex Pistols, I don't know what's starting. 3 of them go off, fire a pill, but they all kind of both stop in their tracks. And 2 and 5, I think it was, might have been 2. Yeah, I think it was 2 and 5. End up getting getting frozen. And so at this point, they're just kind of like, oh shit, what are they gonna do? He goes on, Joro kind of explains the temperatures or whatever it is, and that they're actually in, negative 48 degrees Celsius is what they were. Let me check, I got the ice searching. Yeah, negative 20 degrees Celsius inside the car. And which I checked, that's negative 2, I think? Negative 4 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's pretty fucking cold. And then he goes on to experience is 100 degrees Celsius, which is a negative 148 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's fucking cold out there, and he's like, oh, this has to be where the enemy's saying. And then we see that Hiajo's literally just standing on top of the car, and he has this face on him. It's like this angry, this my teeth are showing and everything. It was kind of funny. I might actually put it in the thumbnail if I remember to. So yeah. After that. So then after that, my man Hiajo just starts going in on this rant about fucking Paris and how to pronounce Paris. It's fucking hilarious. It was probably my favorite. It was probably the best part of the episode, at least to me. But before we get to Hiajo's excellent rant, A couple of things I was going to mention. One, as I mentioned before, they get frozen to the thing, and they can't, for one, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but Golden Wind, but he can't use Golden Wind because and nothing can survive over like 140 degrees, negative 140 degrees Celsius. So you got that. Mista's face gets stuck to the window and it starts to cover his face. If he tries to break off, he's gonna lose half of face, and B, he's probably gonna instantly die from the freeze or whatever. His nose he blinks, and then his eyelashes legit get stuck together, which I'm sure that fucking sucks. And the moisture from his mouth, and the moisture from his I think he said the moisture from his mouth is freezing over his nostrils, bruh. You definitely don't want to freeze to death. You could probably say relatively you do not want to freeze to death. Freezing to death is probably one of the worst ways to die, bro. So you got that, the brakes are frozen, so they're just stuck there, man. And like before, JoJo can't use Golden Wind, so they're just fucked. But then, so let's get to the rant. So Hyajo gets up from the top, moves his hands up and kind of stands there. He's like, everybody knows the capital of Paris, but most English figures say. Most English speakers say Paris instead, Paris the way it's supposed to be. But yet somehow Venice has replaced Venezia as the global standard. Why? Call it the death. Wait, never mind. He also mentions from some stories called Death in Venice and another one I can't think of the name was. He's like, why? Dad, why? Are we not good enough? Learn some fucking Italian, Pantalone. He learns some Italian. It's hilarious, man. Learn some Italian. What is this Papa's bullshit they're on? It's hilarious, man. I'll probably post a clip of it on my Twitter just because of how funny it is. I loved it. I wouldn't be surprised if half of that is actually Araki being a little pissed off at the pronunciation of Paris and Venice, which I didn't even know about Venezia. I always thought it was Venice, but hey, I guess I'm an uncultured swine. So yeah, and I'm sure we all can relate to Araki. So we all have that one thing that we absolutely despise, the way how people pronounce certain things. Like me, and I'm sure a lot of my other my other fellow otakus hate when people say manga. I hate that shit, man. Call it fucking manga, not manga. Manga. It's not that hard, It's oh man. He's it's not that hard. Call it what it is. Yeah. That Red was it feels so out of place, low-key. So I wouldn't be surprised if it is Araki. If that was just Araki just wildin'. But yeah, man. And also people call him Izuku Deku. His name is Izuku, goddammit, stop calling him Deku. But yeah, that's me. Tell me down below what you guys think, whatever pisses you off. What's a pet peeve of yours that people get that triggers you of how people say it? Tell me that down below. So anyway, afterwards, Mista fires up a couple extra shots, and he manages to get him off the train, or he manages to get him off the top of the roof. After using some help with Golden Wind, he gets him off. But then the dude kind of gets back up, turns his ice into an armor, and then just starts ice skating back to the car. And we find out his name was the stand's name was White something. It wasn't White Cold. White Snow or something. I forget the exact way. I forget how it was called, but it was White something or Cold something. I forget the exact name of the stand. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, so he starts ice skating back there. Mista fires up a few more shots, which he then has 6 pistols and puts the bullets underneath his ice skates, which ends up careening right into the asphalt face first. So then he ends up freezing over the moisture from the exhaust pipe, which I don't even know how cold that is. Even Mista's how cold is that to be even do that? I would assume negative 200 degrees Celsius. I don't know if any of you guys know for sure. Tell me that down below in the comments. So he goes up there, he's climbing up there. Mista's trying to fire some more shots, but he ends up just putting the trunk up there, and he just kind of gets back up and he grabs Mista. And he starts to go after Mista. He freezes his arm. Golden Wind comes in there, lands a couple punches, but his arms start to get frozen. Golden Wind's arms. So then he gets over there, and after he's done, he's like, oh shit, and he meets him like, yo, get out of there, Giorno, get out of there, Giorno. And he's like, not yet. Then my man Giorno just careens over to the side of the road against the railing. And he's like, okay, we made it to Venezia, and then goes headlong into the water. The episode ends right before they hit the water, but they're just going right into the ocean or the lake or the lagoon or whatever it was, and that's where the episode ends. So yeah, this episode was fucking awesome. Once again, Giorno seems awesome. I love Hyajo. He's probably my favorite character from the Hitman team. I absolutely love his rants. Please tell me, I hope there are more rants to come from Hyajo. Give me something else, Araki, please. I'm sure something else triggers you. And yeah, man. So yeah, tell me down below. So yeah, overall, I'm gonna give this episode a 9.5 out of 10, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, flag, links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.